Welcome to the K-Pasta Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, the Ringleader K.
And I am the Shawn Michaels to this Marty Jannetty, action-packed Montreal Bailey.
All right, we're going to get right into it this week. We got something terrible that happened. I'm sure everybody done heard about the Texas massacre of 19 little kids and 2 adults. And that moment of silence that I just took is for the 19 kids and the 2 adults. A week before some of the people that got killed in Buffalo were even buried, another young man, he was 18 years old, went into a school in Texas and massacred 21 people.
19 kids.
10, I'm going to say, let's say 8. I don't know the exact age, but I think the average age was 10 years old. So I'm going to say he killed some 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I've been looking at a lot of stuff on TV and the internet saying the mental health, and one side saying it's mental health, one side calling it complete evil.
That's what I'm calling it, complete evil. Forget that mental health stuff they always want to throw in for all the killings. Listen to black.
The devil, I believe the devil and demons exist.
Yep. And they running rapid right now.
It's kind of hard to talk about it because I had little small children, and it's kind of hard to well, I guess all of us that has children, we do imagine that every time we see it on the news, we imagine that happening to us after we see it. Yeah. Like we try to sympathize with them, or we do sympathize with them, but we try to say, like when your parents die, you say, if you had it happen before, you could say, I know how you feel. But if you haven't, you can say that, but you don't really know how they feel. If you never had a child at that age murdered after dropping them off to school, you don't know how they feel. But we sit home, we watch the news, and we say to ourselves, I wonder how I would feel.
Like right now, like we're like scared every day. Every time our kids leave us, every time we take them to school, like we also just had recent threats at most local schools close to here.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if it's trolling or is it serious. You can't be too careful with that.
Yeah.
You don't know who to take because threats, bombings, it's been going on forever. Since the beginning of the cell phone, telephones and schools.
Yeah.
It's always been, ever since I've been alive, it's been bomb threats at school. But now they take it way more serious.
Yeah, way more serious. Because it's actually going down now.
And somebody called me on the phone last night. It was about 11 o'clock at night. And they were drinking beer. And they were almost drunk.
It wasn't me, y'all.
It wasn't him. But they asked me a question. And the question was, do I think that they would have had better security at that school if it had been a white school? If it had been,
this was mostly Hispanic school, right?
Mostly Hispanic school. I'm gonna say one white person was shot. I showed a picture. I don't know if she was Hispanic or Latino or whatever, or white, Caucasian. But it was one picture of a small girl that looked like she was white, and the rest of them looked like Latinos. Okay, he asked me the question that I had never thought about, but I told him after he asked me the question, we talked for a little while. I said I saw, because he was asking me more questions, and I brought up the point that I saw some camera footage of the 18-year-old entering the building,
Yeah.
and it was so blurry you couldn't tell if he was black or if he was white or if he
Yeah.
had a gun or not. It was like a Bigfoot picture.
But you know what's so crazy? He entered through the back door. Like the
Yeah,
back
but could
door
you
should have
tell it
been,
was him?
but the back door should have been locked.
How do you know that was him?
How do I know?
You can't tell it was him from that picture
From the
where he
photo.
entered. Nah. So that took me back to his question. If it was a white school, would the footage would it have been better? Because it seemed like to me they had out of date film equipment. So is there
That should have.
security out of
Yeah,
date
cause it
too?
was kind of far away with the way when the
Uh,
camera should have been like right there at the
yeah, it
door.
should have been right there at the door. If you come to my house, I mean, I could see bumps on your face with the
Yeah.
cameras. I don't
Same
care
here.
what area of my house you go around. I have cameras around my house because my kids and my family is
Mhm.
top priority.
Yep.
So if the school system is the kids are
Don't
top
even got that.
priority, yeah. What you took that picture from space?
Where's all this educational lottery going?
Right. That's what I said to him too. It's supposed to be going, and me and him had a debate about um is it because they're Hispanic? Do they get pushed to the end? Do they take care of the whites schools, predominantly white, then go to the black or the
Minorities.
mixed schools, and then since that school is close to Mexico, it's still in the United States, but it's
Mhm.
close to Mexico. Do they just push that school with the lottery money? Do they just don't even worry about giving them nothing?
Mhm.
Don't worry about this because cameras, they kind of proving what they doing
Yeah.
on a national stage by showing that camera footage. Because if you have cheap cameras, it's showing that you're not protecting the what you supposed to hold so valuable. Because if your camera footage is like that, it's saying a lot about your security because cameras are part of or is security.
Remember last episode we talked about the police? Take that money and secure these schools. We need to hype up the security, beef up the security, get better cameras, all types of stuff. I want my tax-paying dollars to go to something important.
Where is all this lottery money going? I, I'm sure some of it is going to the schools. It, I'm
Probably mostly the
I
military.
could say that it's a possibility they doing what they supposed to do with the money by giving it to the school systems. But is it biased when it comes to which schools actually get funded? Because this school was part of America, is part of America, and it seems to me like they didn't even take $1,000 and make sure they had good security.
Mhm.
Because I'm sure when they show the news or get the footage to the
I
news,
could have went there and put better cameras up than
they
that.
they they get him the best of what they got. I'm sure CNN has the best footage of the guy entering the building, the best footage that they have. And you telling me that's the best footage that the only reason I know that that's him is because you telling me that's him. If somebody would show me that, I would have thought it was Bigfoot. If somebody showed me a clip of the guy entering the building and asked me what is this or who is this, I'll say Bigfoot. I mean, it's not funny. You laughing, but this is a serious situation because you mean to tell me we got all this lottery money. It's supposed to go, called the education lottery.
Mhm.
It's supposed to go to education. Education, protection, it all goes together hand in hand. Okay. You're supposed to put I I know as a father myself, because my daughter, she was in maybe her second year of college, and they had a shooter in college. and one of the guys, the students, jumped on the shooter, and he got shot and murdered in the classroom trying to stop the shooter. And so I know all about this type of feeling. Uh, I think another student got shot but survived, and one student died. So when you send your kid to school, you are expecting, without checking, you as a parent, you feel like they take. We ain't got to worry about them
Yeah, they
protecting
should take stuff
the
seriously.
the
Like
yeah you
they're our kids are now in their hands.
yeah you expect them to do that. So he went into the school. That's the best footage of him entering the school. I'm assuming that's the best footage. Allegedly, I'm saying that's what they're showing on the news. And the door was unlocked. And yesterday on the news, an officer got up there because it had been a rumor going around that he was met by somebody, security, security person, ain't but no gunshots were fired. And everybody was asking why no shots were fired if he was met with somebody when he was first entering the building. Yesterday, police officer got up there and he said, I'm quoting, but I'm paraphrasing at the same time. He said that he wanted to clear that up. He was not met by anyone. That's something that he wanted to clear up and get that out the way. So going back to the cameras, bad cameras, he wasn't met by any type of security. So the intoxicated person that called me last night at 11 o'clock, I'm laying in the bed, wasn't asleep. Does he have a point? Let me know in the comments what y'all think about the question he asked me. Is it biased or kind of racist? Can I use racist? Do they get funded less, or is it like they treating it like I wouldn't say a
Well,
third
it's a
world
known
country,
fact
but
already that certain schools get less money from
do
state
the
to other.
Latino kids get less funding for their schools than uh white
I'm pretty
or
sure. I'm
black?
gonna say yeah, cause it's a known fact that they have
It
less.
wasn't a known fact to me
Yeah, it's
because
a
I
known
never
fact.
thought about it. It
You can
never
even
crossed
look.
my
You can
mind
even look
before.
it up. Like it's a known fact.
It never
You can
crossed my
see
mind before until this incident. I didn't even know anything about this
all
school.
schools don't get
I
funded
didn't even
equally.
know anything about this town. Never heard of the town before this incident. I didn't know what type of people lived there. But after this became a national, I guess, world news, it's making me question it now. Is this happening other places? Other, I already knew about blacks. Like you go to Maryland and you go to Jacksonville, Florida, and you go to Philly. You ride through the streets in Detroit and Cleveland. You look at the schools that you ride by. You can tell that they treat black schools this way from white schools. I knew that,
Hmm.
but when it came to
The funding, uh,
other nationalities, right? Like,
like Hispanics, yeah,
yeah,
Latinos.
is it because of the area, or is it because of the people that live in the area who get
They
the
try
funding?
to say is they try to fund it by the area, but what make it so bad, the government put these peoples in the area where those are the schools they have to go to, unless you could be a higher like unless you get lucky to be a higher privilege to be able to go to these more predominantly white schools, because it seems like they always end up at the best schools and the best areas for some reason.
Because
I know the reason, but I don't want to say.
Oprah Winfrey has a commercial or a show she did, and she was promoting the show. It was about people dying of the the COVID-19, and she was saying that it depends on your area code if you live or die. You saying that commercial? But she had a show and she talked about it, and she was like, the people get taken care of better
Better.
in this area than this area, and it depends
That sound
on
about
where
right.
you live at, what type of health care you get. Okay, I didn't see the show, but I saw the previews to the show. I've been looking for the show, but maybe it's out now, maybe not. It hasn't been released yet, but I want to see that show because it was about a black guy that caught the COVID. He was the main thing, the main person. He died because they sent him home and this and that. So now it's making me wonder since this shooting, uh, is the healthcare bad, along with the school safety, the children's safety? Does it matter the area code you live in?
Yeah, the areas
How
do
much
matter.
you protected at school? Does that matter? Is that something we need to find out as voters? Who we put in office, what they gonna try to do before we vote for them, or the man they talk about it
Yeah, but every
before?
time we vote for somebody, they give us some broken promises, stuff they say they're gonna
Yeah,
do that
but
they never gonna do.
we don't push people or ask people enough about situations.
Yeah.
When people come up for election, they mainly say these are my topics right here.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. And they give you can choose me or you could choose the other person that says, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. But we need to hold the people accountable and say, well, what you gonna do about this? What you gonna do about the safety of the school? Like everyone that's going up for election. All right, what are you
Around
gonna do for
around
the
election
school?
years, the community really need to get together, come together, have events, so we can figure out who we really need to vote for, like who we need to put in office
I agree. I agree.
for everything. But that's
But
one of the problems. The community won't come together and get their mess together so that we could take back the power instead of just giving it straight in these politicians' hands for them just to F us over.
do is it important for the people that's already safe? Like, do if
Well, you already know they.
everybody live in this state and you got 70% of the let's just say 13.5% of the people that live in the United States are black. It's around 13, in between 13, 14% of all black people that live in the United States are black, African American. Then you got Latinos and they like a bigger portion. But 13.5 to 14% are black that live in the United States. So let's just say you have one state. And then you have 70% white in that state, or maybe 80% in that state. Since we are so low as a whole, it has to be like in most states, about 70% white. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, 30% black.
Mm,
You're going to have 70% of good schools
good
and
hospitals.
protected,
Yeah.
and then the 30% not protected, or maybe 15% not protected, because there's going to be a mixture of different one. And then you got the
That's
15% not protected that schools not being taken care of.
yeah.
So when you vote collectively, most people don't think about the school
And they
safety
sending all the
because
policemen with the bad resumes down there too.
you got 70% of the school protected. And the other 30% really don't make a difference, or 15 or 20% don't make a difference when it comes to electing somebody
Yeah.
to run the whole state. Because for the most part, 70, 80% are protected. But you had those few schools, few people, few neighborhoods that's not being protected. And I think it should be some type of law that says, hey, a rule, we have to have this level of protection for everybody. Not just
That's exactly how gangs started. They went there having to protect themselves because they wasn't getting protected like they needed to be.
not just 80% of the state, but the whole state. It should be some type of rule. Like when you say no marijuana smoking in the state, it goes for the whole state. It's not just you can smoke marijuana in this half of the state, but not this half. It's the law for the whole state. They should have like OSHA go around and see if the school is
Yeah,
safe. Can a shooter get in here? If not, they should. I ain't gonna say shut them down, but give them a time limit
yeah.
or some fines saying that if you don't get this school safe in this amount of time, we're gonna find the state. Or you know what I mean? Like find
It should
somebody.
be like when you go to a restaurant, you got your A plus, you got your C minus. Like nah, this school got C minus, ain't taking my. But that's another problem. They don't even want you to take your kids to whatever school they could go to.
Yeah, yeah. The area you live in, that's a
Yeah,
school
that's
that
a
you got
school
to
that
go
you got
to
to go
because
to.
they had a lady. She got like 5 years in prison because she lied about what area she lived in,
Yeah,
just so she could take her son to a different school.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all this
Like that's
is
messed up.
coinciding. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's you want more for your child, but safety is what you want the most
Yeah.
for your child. And I don't want to say the killer's name because I don't want to bring more attention to this person.
And you know he killed his grandma too, right?
He
One
didn't
of those
kill his
two.
grandma. He shot her in the
Oh,
face.
she
She's
ain't
still
die.
alive.
Yeah, she ain't die. My bad.
He shot her in the face with an AR-15. That's the gun he had.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the most powerful assault weapons. That's a whole nother topic, though. When we start talking about gun laws, well, while we on that topic, what you think they should do about the gun laws when it comes to um moving forward? This is the they they had
It's hard because I'm all for guns because everybody need to be protected. Like little
yeah,
situation
but
like
are
this,
you
it
all
teaches
for
you to
assault weapons? Do you think an 18-year-old should be able to go to
nah.
the store and buy a gun
But
2 days, 3 days, a week after he turned 18? You think he should be able to go to the store and buy
nah,
AR-15 or AK
it
or
should be more
SK? Or,
stuff that go through, but I don't know the way they got these gun laws. I can't even figure out. Then Texas. Didn't they pass the law where they don't need permits and none of that stuff to buy
I know
guns?
they did that in like Tennessee.
I think Texas is the first one to do it.
I'm not sure
Handguns
about
and
that, but
everything.
whatever they did, if they did that, and the same thing goes for Tennessee too, where young Dolph was recently murdered and people could walk around with guns like that. I don't think that's a good idea.
Mhm.
I think that's a terrible idea. I don't even whoever came up with that idea need to be kicked in the ass. You
Mhm.
telling me that 18 you can't buy alcohol until you're 21. You can't buy cigarettes until you're 18. So is a cigarette equal to uh
Gun.
uh I ain't even gonna call it a gun. I'm gonna call it an assault weapon.
And they need to figure out if these people mentally stable. They just look at your background like, oh, you probably been a felon before,
Most
and that
people that
years
commit
ago.
mass murders like this don't have a criminal record,
Yeah,
but they have some form of threaten,
hate,
whether it be
some form of hate. Yeah,
internet or um some sign where they needed help, like they were reaching out for help. Like it might not be a felony, but it was something that happened prior to them committing this crime. Like I think that people that kill animals when they're young, if your child never talks to you in the house, is very quiet, and you ever seen him kill any type of animal, stomped on a turtle or anything when he was young, you need to watch your child a lot closer because I hear a lot of people say that the parents. Now, the one thing I can say about that, the parents need to check the rooms. If you live in my house, it's true. He can put it in an old car in the backyard. He could keep the gun there. He can keep the gun in the bushes beside the house, in the barn. He can put a shoebox or some type of box outside somewhere and keep the gun there if it's a small gun or even a big gun. But let him know that you're concerned. Search his room, his drawers, and that the parents need to do stuff like that. That his backpack, book bag. But with that being said, you can't really be with your child 24/7. So it's a upbringing. You know what I mean? Like, um, it's just hard to be a parent now with all this internet stuff and all this hate and all this bullying going on. That's another thing I want to talk about. If one kid is bullying another kid, the parent of that kid that's doing the bullying, it can lead to something like this. Yeah. If you know your kid is bullying people and being nasty to other kids,
I
you
know
need
a situation like that, but we'll talk about that later off the air.
You need to stop that because he might be scared to fight, but not too scared to kill, like shoot people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that bullying. If you're a parent, make sure your kid's not bullying other kids at school.
Yeah.
Because it could lead to not where it could push somebody to doing something like this. In my opinion.
Take you out.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Which one go to next?
I don't know because every time I talk about this, I talk about it, excuse me, on the phone with somebody, or it's just terrible when the kids get killed. Terrible situation.
Bad.
Okay, I'm good. I'm not gonna cry, bro. All right, what we got next?
Let's go back to the Buffalo shooter. We got some information.
All right, we got the Buffalo
this.
shooter. The shooting that happened in Buffalo. Let's talk about it.
Well, it turned out that the guard that was killed was working on getting a car patent that could run off water. Even though we had heard about this for the longest.
Aaron Salter, that's his name.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It still ain't working. Aaron Salter. I'm saying it right. Aaron Salter. The name of the security guard that was shot trying to defend the grocery store in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
He what happened?
So off the air, we were talking about how he got killed, but he was working on a car that run on water, well, vehicles that run on water. So we were trying to say, do you think the government tried to take him out?
Yeah. The government. So conspiracy.
Yeah, really wonder how y'all feel about that.
Because in 1975, I think it was a white guy. I don't know his name, but he invented a car that ran off of water, H2O. Mm-hmm. And I can't talk.
Well, when he went to the meeting to try to get it push.
Yeah. the government to push
He
it,
drunk
to
some juice.
fund it.
He drunk some juice.
Some cranberry
Yeah.
juice, and he died. He was the first inventor of a vehicle that ran off of water instead of gasoline.
Water.
So they killed the guy. They say allegedly they killed the guy
Mhm.
um because they make a lot of money with gas, and the the government, they say, poisoned the guy with some cranberry juice with poison in it, and he fell out dead. And he said while he was dying that they did that to stop his invention of a car or vehicles that run off of water instead of gasoline,
Yeah.
because they would lose so much money in the gas business. So this guy right here, Aaron Salter, he came back. Well, we're gonna say the water engine never came out. That was in 1975 by the white guy. This guy Aaron Salter, you can go back and do some videos, watch some videos about his patent that he was waiting on. He also invented an engine that ran off of water. Everybody know about the gas prices.
Yeah.
And what we
Especially
going
right
through
now.
with gasoline and prices and how much it costs, and it's hard to get, and oil and stuff right now. People on it online are saying that the security guard in Buffalo that got killed, the first one to get killed, mind you, in this attack in Buffalo by this 19-year-old, I think he was. How old was he? Well, it don't matter the age. But he was murdered first.
Yeah.
And it's speculation, rumors and speculation, that he was allegedly killed because he had the same invention that the white guy had in 1975. And it's people in this world that don't want to see that engine come to pass that runs off of water. So he was murdered. It was all a conspiracy, a setup. And they killed the rest of the people just because I hate black people, and I took this job, so the hell with everybody else. So I'm gonna kill this guy I came to kill, and I'm also kill some more people. Okay. With that being said, how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about what would happen if somebody invented a engine for your car that ran off of water, straight water and electricity? Okay. It's videos circulating with when President Joe Biden was talking about him after he got shot. Biden said he loved electric cars. That was one of the things when he was describing what type of man he was. Damon John from the Shark Tank, the inventor or one of the founders of FUBU, the clothing line FUBU, had some type of connection with this man, this security guard that got killed in Buffalo. The guy from Shark Tank. The guy from Shark Tank, Damon John, called Aaron Salter's son and said he was gonna pay for the funeral. Anything y'all need, I got it. I'm gonna pay for it, because they had a connection. Because Aaron was waiting for this patent for this water running car engine, and Damon wanted a piece of it. So if Damon knew about it and was going to fund it or push it, or they were going to make it happen together, who else knew about it? I heard about it years ago when they first made the video, but I didn't put two and two together until I started doing some
Then I heard
research.
about people in between that was making cars that ran off water, and then they were just like disappearing like that.
Well, on the air, when the news people invented this and interviewed this man that got murdered, Aaron Salter, he said, I can't show y'all the documents or the paperwork or how it works, because I'm waiting on a patent for it. I don't think that patent ever came through, but they were still waiting on it. Who knows if it was about to come through and they murdered them, so it would never happen. It's over with. So they, because in the mafia or the Illuminati, allegedly they do stuff like this. If you're going to cause them to lose money, they will take you out. We see it all the times in movies, and some movies, a lot of movies, I'm gonna say at least 60% of movies has a little bit of real life mixed in with it. You know what I'm saying? Things that could happen, conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say this could have happened. I don't know. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just running down the news for the week. This is big in the news. One of the top stories. Everybody's talking about it. And I myself found it very interesting because I saw this video about this man, a black man, invented a car that run off water years ago. And I was surprised when I found out that this is the guy. I just had to talk about that this week because what a coincidence that this is the guy. And I remember watching that video. But we got a little clip of the video we want to show y'all of Aaron Salter. Y'all check it out.
So we're going to do 4 experiments today for the patent examiners. The first one, you do need electrolysis. But what my system has done is taken advantage of the residue that's produced by the electrolysis. So we're going to actually start this vehicle without any electrolysis. The second one, we're going to fill the water tank with water. And again, we're going to be able to start it without electrolysis and run this engine. How long we'll find out. Then we're going to turn the hydrogen generator on, and we're going to let that produce some gas, and then we're going to see how long the engine runs with the hydrogen only. And then the fourth one, we're going to use the combination of the hydrogen generator, the agitator, and we're going to see how long it runs together. Okay? So first thing we're going to do, we're going to start the engine up on gas first. And I'm going to initiate the agitator, and then we're going to go to the front, and we're going to switch the gas, hydrogen gas on, and the regular fuel off. Okay? I'm just going to start it. The gas valve is shut off. That's the gas valve in the rear. It's in off position. And the vehicle is running on pure hydrogen. That's the extra alternator. Fuel air intake. And this is the valve for the hydrogen to engage.
That was the vehicle running off of water. Y'all sort of
hydrogen and water together. He cut the gas off. The guy was a genius, and we just want to know, did his smartness, scientific, what you call it, when invention,
brain his downfall,
was that the cause of his death, and did it lead to others' demise as well as his own? We're gonna find out. I'm gonna do my own investigation. I'm gonna make sure if he. Nah, I better not say that.
I'm about to say.
All right. Rest in peace to Aaron Salter, man. He was a smart man, very smart man, inventing stuff for black people. Once again, that got cut short.
Inventing stuff for all people.
Nah, I meant by that, I'm saying that he was a black inventor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was going to stamp another black invention, something that we did. As a black man, I like to see black inventors invent stuff, and I can show my kids, hey, this guy did this.
You could
Just imagine him revolutionizing the way we live. Like, it's no more gas cars. There's no more carbon monoxide poisoning. There's no more, not as much messing up the ozone layer anymore because now we run cars. When my kids get up to the age where they can drive, all they will be able to remember is cars that run off of
water
and hydrogen. So I mean,
Captain
that's
America
what I mean by
be proud.
black, somebody that changed the whole world. This man was on the verge of changing the whole world, not just the cell phone or something for the world. Animals and everything would benefit for this invention, from this invention. So shout out to him. Next, I want to talk about something that we talked about maybe a couple shows ago. I need to start putting numbers with the broadcast, like show 1, show 2. Yeah, put episodes with it. But we talked about the passing of Dwayne Haskins. I'm pretty sure y'all remember the ex-Washington Commander football quarterback that was traded to the Steelers. A lot of people didn't know he was traded to the Steelers until he got hit, and in a tragic accident, he got ran over by a dump truck. Okay. With that being said, if for the people that haven't seen that episode that we did, go back and watch that.
Yeah.
But the autopsy came out of what really happened to Dwayne Haskins. And we just want to give y'all a little update about that. They say that Dwayne Haskins was drunk. He had 3 times the legal limit in the system. He had some type of drugs in the system. I don't really know what it is. I don't want to try to pronounce the drugs, but he had like 2 types of drugs. It's not cocaine. It's not weed. It's not meth or nothing like that. It's something start with a C. Maybe something you drink, or I don't know what it is, but they trying to say it was a
young
drug.
kids on comment and let us know what that type of drug is.
They trying to say it was some type of drug that they classify as a drug. Now, was it a legal drug? I don't know, because I don't know what it is. I didn't Google it. Y'all can go do some research for yourself and find out what type of drug it is. Whatever it is, I don't think it was too serious. But the alcohol is what strikes me as harmful, because I believe alcohol is one of the most dangerous drugs on the face of the earth, because it causes head-on-head collisions, car accidents, and deaths, and all types of shootings and killings. Alcohol is very dangerous. And being that he was 3 times over the legal limit, that's saying he was drunk. They say he got in a fight at a club or a bar, and then he left drunk. He shouldn't have been driving, in my opinion. All this is alleged, but it's coming from the autopsy report. But some of it is coming from other sources, like the fight. It's coming from that's not in the autopsy report. I guess they couldn't tell if he had some bruises from the fight on his face since he was hit by a dump truck. But they say he was in a fight, and then he left drunk. He ran out of gas. He had a woman in the car, passed out at the time when he got hit by the dump truck. They didn't say his relationship to the woman that was passed out in the car, but it was not his wife. Then I'm assuming she was drunk, because you can't.
Why we got an interview from her yet?
Well, I'm pretty sure since he was married that she don't want to get on the, you know what I mean, and say anything if it was something that's not good. But she had to be drunk if the person that's driving you around get run over, and when they find you, you still passed out in the car. So I'm assuming she was drunk. So alcohol, I'm gonna say, in the case of Dwayne Haskins, was the main culprit in his demise, in this accident. And next, we want to talk about airport, something that happened at the airport Brandon Langley.
Oh yeah, Brandon Langley.
It's been making news this week.
The hand-to-hand combat.
He's an ex-football player. He played for the Broncos, the Denver Broncos. And he got in a fight.
Well, he used to play for the Denver Broncos. He played for a Canadian team.
I said ex.
But he's still a football player. He's not an ex-football player. He still play. He still play football, but it's in Canada. He's an ex-American football player.
If you can say that he's a people in the United States, we don't know about.
I guess he
people that play.
Do he play rugby?
That's just like people that retire from playing football and they go play in the backyard. Do we still call them football players? Do you still, if I'm a football player and I quit playing in the NFL, but I go play for the high school?
Warren Moon couldn't get a job in the NFL. He went to Canada and started running things. Then the NFL caught him. Yo, come back here.
Well, okay, ex-Denver Bronco. So people can recognize who he is. He an ex-Denver Bronco. Brandon Langley. I didn't know who he was, never heard of him. Maybe I heard of him and don't remember, but he's nobody, a star that I'm not a Denver Bronco fan, but if I was, maybe I would know him. He got in a fight at an airport, and it looks like the worker hit him first, and he hit him back, but he's the one getting the assault charge. And the person that hit him first just got terminated from his job. Yeah. So one is going to get a stained record and had to go to court. Rocked. And the other one just got terminated from his job. So, all right. I got a clip of that. Y'all check it out. Tell me what you think. Y'all check this out because I want to hear some opinions on this.
Let me put a point in before we show the video. Plus, he was carrying luggage on a wheelchair.
Yeah, and
that's why the whole thing started.
They wanted to take the wheelchair back or something like that. So, and I think that's how the whole altercation started. Y'all check this clip out.
You want some more? He wants more. You need it, right? You want more? You want more? You want more?
All right, from the clip, it looked like
I couldn't really tell you. It looked like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. It looked like Brandon hit him first.
See, to me,
we got a disagreement because I thought before I watched the clip that watched it over that the attendant threw the first punch.
It looked like the attendant threw that right.
You see the attendant hand kind of moving, but his attendant, when the clip first started, his hand won't by his face. It looked like it was on the way down. It could have just been up, like when you talk with your hands. So Brandon could have thought he was attempting to hit him and then swung on him. But from that clip, after I keep watching it over and over, who connected first? It looked like Brandon connected first. And then the clip that they are showing everyone, all that's buzzing of the United Airlines slapping, it looks like the attendant hit Brandon first because they edited. I'm glad we have the full version because the clip that's circulating on Facebook, it looks like the attendant hit him first and Brandon is defending himself. But in the clip that we just showed y'all, you see Brandon connect first. I don't know if it's more
My
before
man
that.
might connect. It just went as hard.
Yeah,
I
don't know if it's more before that, but from that clip that I just pulled up, it looked like Brandon connected first.
We got to ask the
And
woman that was there. That black woman that was there.
it looked like Brandon connected first, and the attendant got involved, and it all started over a wheelchair. So let this be a lesson to everybody that's watching this podcast. Don't put your luggage in a wheelchair and expect for nothing not to happen, because they're going to ask for that wheelchair back, because wheelchairs are not meant to carry your luggage. They are meant for disabled people or people with broken legs or foot injuries or people that older people. They're not meant for to carry your luggage.
So if you catch them hands, that's on you.
So, I mean, if you do the right thing, in my opinion, you ain't got nothing to worry about. And part of doing the right thing is not putting your luggage on a wheelchair and dragging it across the airport. So maybe he deserved the charge. Because for one, I saw him slap the guy first in that clip. Even though it might be some footage that I don't have earlier footage, what happened earlier, but in the clip I saw, that clip that I just showed y'all, Brandon connected first, and then it escalated from there. So he needed to be some. I think it needed to be equal. Well, I don't. Maybe both of them should get equal charges, but Brandon definitely should get a charge because of dragging that luggage in that wheelchair.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, then you just expect to have a bad day. If you're gonna drag your luggage in a wheelchair, expect it for something to happen.
He should have walked away too.
As a grown man,
after the first few hits, he saw my man was doing bad. He should just walk.
As a grown man, you know better than put your luggage in a wheelchair and expect for nothing to happen. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. All right, what we got next? We got a guy,
Grant Williams,
former member. I don't know.
Well,
studio.
He
worker.
worked at the studio for the Wu-Tang Clan. He worked with the Wu-Tang Clan.
New York studio worker.
Yeah, he was real close to Wu-Tang Clan, and they gave him 23 years for being wrongfully accused of killing somebody.
Did they give him 23 years or did he do 23 years?
He done 23 years.
So we don't know how much he got. How much time he had altogether?
We did 23 altogether.
How much time he had, not how much he did, because obviously he got out early. So he stayed incarcerated for 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how much time he had, but it was for a murder. So maybe life, maybe 50, maybe it was over 20.
And then because they didn't find no fingerprints, his DNA ain't match anything, and they were saying the guy was 5'5",
5'5" and stocky, kind of fat.
Yeah.
That's the witnesses said that it was a real short fat man that did the crime. And what's his name?
Grant Williams.
Grant Williams was 6'1". And his time was overturned because they didn't really have any evidence. They had the wrong man the whole time.
And then last year he finally got out.
That's why I'm glad they don't have the well, I ain't glad they don't have the death penalty, but I'm glad that they don't execute people right away. Because of situations like this is why I'm against executing people right away. Give it time for the truth to come out. I know some innocent people that have been, not I know personally, but in the world, I know it's been tons of people that's been executed for something they didn't do. But I'm glad in this situation he didn't receive the death penalty for the murder, because he would have been one of those victims of being falsely accused of murder, and he really didn't do it. He would have died if they would have gave him the death penalty. He would have been in 23 years. Probably they would have killed him. by now. So I'm glad they don't give people the death penalty right away. This is if people ask all the time, why do they wait so long to execute people? This is a prime example of why they don't execute people right away.
And this year he beat the lawsuit. He had a lawsuit against the state of New York, and he finally got awarded $7 million.
Yeah,
Even though you lost 23 years of your life.
it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
Trust me. It ain't worth $7 million to stay in prison for 23 years. Nobody would, well, I'm sure somebody would take that deal. Nobody in their right mind would take that deal. Go to prison for 23 years,
Yeah.
and I give you $7 million. I wouldn't take it, but I'm glad he got something out of it, because there's been people that's went to prison and did similar amounts of time, and they gotten out and they didn't get nothing, or the bare minimum. So I'm glad he's out. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Once again, that's Grant Williams. He used to be work at the studio, the same studio as the Wu-Tang Clan. And he was incarcerated in 1995.
Well, got no clip time?
Oh, you want to see a clip of him so people can know who it is?
Yeah, I want to see clips.
Yeah, check out this clip of Brandon. Check it out.
I was convinced, obviously, soon as I read his records, soon as I met him. But I needed to convince the district attorney's office.
Williams' defense team found new evidence and 6 witnesses who said he wasn't the shooter. The Staten Island DA conviction review team sorted through all that evidence and extra material they dug up. In the end, everyone agreed Williams was innocent.
Grant, all I can say to you is, I'm sorry for what happened to you.
This is the first time a case like this has been overturned on Staten Island.
We need to make sure that justice was done in the past, that justice is being done presently, and that justice will be done in the future.
Williams was released on parole in late 2019. The pandemic slowed down plans to formally drop the case. When it finally happened Thursday, his best friend, Ghostface from the Wu-Tang Clan, was there.
Glad it's over now. It's like a ton of bricks is being lifted.
Williams says that he's contemplating 2 civil lawsuits, one against the state, the other against the NYPD. He says the restitution, if he gets anything, cannot replace all the time he did.
Glad I could clear my name. And I hope the world knows now, and everybody knows the COs that was locked up with me. I told you I was innocent. I want everybody to know, everybody to see this. So I hope you show the world. Channel 4 everything.
Yeah, congratulations to my man.
Yeah, shout out to Grant Williams. And I like to say before we go, pray for the families of the 21 people that died in Texas, and also the 10 people that got killed in Buffalo, New York. This has been a terrible week, 2 weeks, and we got a lot going on. And we gotta pray for this country. It's not happening in other countries. It's just happening over here in the United States, man. God bless y'all, man. See y'all next time. K Prosser Podcast and Reviews. Peace.